Welcome everybody to Talking Sports Live here at Full Moon Barbecue in Madison, Mississippi. I'm Jamie Horton. My good buddy and co-host tonight had to do a baseball game somewhere, so he couldn't make it. But I tell you, we got a special guest tonight. My very good friend, one of my one of the all-time greats at Provine and Jack State, new head football coach at Provine High School. Marcellus Speaks. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, Jamie. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. You ain't vegan, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, we just want to know because we like to eat barbecue around here.
Okay, yes, indeed. You get in with it. Yes, sir.
All right. Before our show starts, we want to thank our sponsors and listeners and the viewers of this podcast, Talking Sports Live. First, we have Pendleton and Trim Alarm Services. Let us in. We'll keep them out. Phone number is 601-939-5231. First Commercial Bank, where business is personal, 601-709-7777. Willie T. Absence Law Firm. He's considered one of the Mississippi's top-rated personal injury and general super lawyers. His number is 601-487-8839. Mansell Media and Marketing Agency, a full-service advertising and marketing agency. They offer full-service creative and design services, from designing your new business logo and your business collateral to advertising in all types of media to social media posts. Their phone number is 601-339-2040. And Richard Shaw of Dynastic Promotions, the official clothier of Talking Sports Live. His number is 601-353-1956. And Marcellus Richard Shaw has been in business for over 20 years. And since 1988, when Rob J was a little bitty baby.
I need to make sure I get that number before I leave. Just make sure it's right. Now, I got a feeling I'm going to have some business for him.
You got to make sure right.
Yes, indeed. I got to make sure I got it.
All right. Ways to connect to Talking Sports Live tonight is through Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Hey, man, I want to say welcome home. How you been?
I've been well. I'm glad to be home. A lot has changed, but it's still Jackson, Mississippi. It's still the South, and I love it, man. I was born here. And it's great to be back.
Me and your daddy, we go to the gym together, and we always talking.
Yeah.
And and we talk about you a lot. Last time I talked to him, I said, I'm gonna get you. He said, why? Because I said, you didn't tell me that my boy was coming home. And he just started like, he said, well, I ain't singing in about 2 weeks. So tell us about your journey back to Jackson. How did you get here and to get the job at Provine?
Well, to be honest, Jamie, I didn't really come back to coach. I didn't. The job came open, since I've been back, and I said, hey, I don't know if it's the universe or God or what, but hey, I think I should put in for it. But as you know, or some people may not know, I was in California working as an electrician, generator installer, and the passion to get up every day and just to get that and get after it like I did when I was coaching, it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I made a lot of money. But again, never really been about that. So came back here to get back into teaching, get my license back and work with the kids, what I'm very passionate about, and just to help out in the community. And in part, the job came open, like I said, and so I put in for it, and would you know it, I got it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you won all-time greats at Provine, and you played your college days at Jackson State. Tell us about like right now you're going through conditioning work.
So right now, we just had our first spring after school workout. It went well. We got about 9 more workouts before we get full blown into spring ball. Part of the team's playing baseball, part of the team's doing track, but the other guys that aren't dual sport athletes, they're at the workout getting it in. So I'm excited about it. I think the kids kind of excited about it. They're ready for it, and we'll see what happens.
I tell you what, like Provine always had talent.
Yeah.
So the great Willie Collins and Coach Wilson did a great job.
Coach Wilson did a phenomenal job.
He really did.
And to be honest, I didn't come back to coach, but when it came open, I said I'll put in for it. But part of that was just the shoes to fill. Knowing that the coaches that came before me, like you said, Coach Wilson, I know he had a down year last year, but prior to that, Coach Wilson had been on the roll, and a lot of guys don't know it, that Coach Wilson's won state championship in powerlifting and in other things. But before that, I was there, and then Coach Ridley, and then, like you said, Coach Collins, and then even Coach Blackman. So the tradition is rich over there, and I said, let me give it a shot and see if I can get this thing back on track.
What's the difference now between when you played and the way that these athletes are today? Like, good and bad, because I know you see some of the differences already. What have you seen so far? Are the kids excited about the upcoming season?
They are, but the number is small. And you don't have as many kids or students coming out for sports across the board, not just football, but in other sports, or where they come out, they don't have much experience, success early on, and so they just turn in the towel and give it up instead of taking the coaching, making the adjustment, and doing the things that they need to do to help themselves and the team. They just figure they'll give it up. And it's like, well, when you think of it, you kind of know deep down inside that they really weren't there for the right reason in the first place.
Yeah.
So we really got to change the mindset and get it back focused and help them, show them that there are other opportunities out there instead of some of the things that they're into now.
So in other words, you said the passion.
The
passion. Like back in the day, the passion was there. Like some of the kids lack passion now.
They lack it a lot. And I'm not going to point fingers and say technology, social media, this, that, and the third. Is a combination of things that played into this. School closures, the numbers, the population numbers are down in the city. But that's not to say the talent is not there. But again, like you said, the passion to get out there and want to do better and not just have it given to you is not there. So we're going to have to build it from the ground up and develop that and help them, find that passion and find that motivation.
I tell you what, Coach Gibson at Murrah, the success that Coach Kelly had at Lanier, and Coach Phelps at Forest Hill, all those guys. Now to me, I think JPS football is coming back to its glory days.
I believe it is. And I don't think it'll be long. I wish it would happen a lot sooner, but we can't rush these things. It's a process, just like anything in life. But like you said, now that I'm back in there now, I can probably, rejuvenate it with the passion that's within me, because I've been a motivator. I've been one to kind of, get guys going. So I'm really, really excited about that. The guys that I brought on staff, they're excited about it. Some of them coached before, some of them hadn't coached, but that fire for football and kids, I think, will definitely show through when we get to that.
So you do have your staff already together, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We got some tremendous guys on staff,
Okay.
man. Obviously Coach Roundell's still going to be there.
Okay.
He's been there a long time. But we bring in Willie Williams, who coached with me at Provine. I think when we first got there, when we transitioned from Callaway, Carlos Simpson,
Okay.
played at Jackson State. He's very familiar with inner city. From Detroit.
Yes.
He's won state championships in several basketball and in football there. And even when I found out or learned about Carlos when we played at Jackson State, his school sounded a lot like Provine in the tradition and how they went about doing things. Terrence Jones, another receiver from JPS. Who else? You got Keith Gray. He'll be on staff. He played with me at Provine 04. Don't want to leave anybody out. Aaron Jones. He's from Pearl. I think Aaron is. He's about Breland's age, about 29, 30.
Okay.
He'll be on staff. So, we got Jarvis Durham or Bacon. I coached him at Callaway. He'll be with the O-line. So we got some good guys on staff that are really fired up and ready to make some change.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, I know you're going to do a tremendous job. I just know you are, because you played. If you coach like you played,
Right.
I tell you, Provine going to be back on top real soon. And I just want to say, that staff that you got, know half of them.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that the ones that you name, it's going to be, I'm interested to see how JPS football going to be this year. Do y'all play Lanier this year?
Yeah, we played Lanier. I think Jim Hill, Murrah, and who else?
You got Forest Hill?
No, I don't think we got Forest Hill.
Not on the schedule.
Not on the schedule.
So you guys are 6-8 now.
We'll be 5. We're 2-5-8. We have Vicksburg, Home Central, Cleveland Central, Lanier, and Florence. I think it is. Yeah.
The PA announced for Holmes County Central. So
Okay.
okay. I'll see you.
Yeah.
At the place.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to seeing it.
It's gonna look. It's emotional from both sides. But I gotta go to the one that pays me.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yes, indeed.
So you got a lot of young guys.
Yeah. A lot of the majority of the team, I think, is will be 9th and 10th graders coming up this upcoming school year. Maybe about 12 seniors. But we're gonna be fairly young. I think they were fairly young last year. But again, we're just trying to work on developing them. That's the one thing that I think has been lacking a little bit, just development across the board. Hopefully we can get a 9th grade program going, so that way guys will have an opportunity to compete against guys on their same grade level before they have a chance to bump up. Because we got 7A now in Mississippi, and when you talk about playing some of these teams and 9th graders, you got to think about the psychological effects it may play on them, regardless of how good they are on that grade level.
Yeah, and that's the thing right there, by getting these young guys to buy into your system.
Yeah.
I think when you had it right there, the sky's the limit on what you can do.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting. And look, don't go nowhere now.
All right.
We're gonna feed you.
Okay.
We're gonna feed you. So I want you to stay with me for the next 50 minutes.
All right. That'll work.
All right, we're gonna take a little quick break. We'll be right back with Talking Sports Live.
I'm Josh Trim with Pennington and Trim Alarm Services. We firmly believe in offering the latest and greatest in camera and access control technology. With the Alarm.com platform, we're able to offer a user-friendly and fully integrated service to do just that.
We're a light that shines your way. Let us in and you will find security and peace of mind.
Pennington and Trim.
Gonna keep on out.
We feel strongly that clients are best served by a financial institution that has roots here, but also has an eye on the future. That's what we believe First Commercial Bank brings to our markets. Our idea is simple: deliver a consistently exceptional client experience each and every time. We have a unique story to tell, and our talented associates are dedicated to meeting the needs of our clients every day. Visit firstcommercialbk.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Accidents happen, and the Abston Law Firm wants to help you. Don't feel overwhelmed with disruptions to your life that accidents and injuries bring. Let Willie Abston work for you. At Abston Law Firm, you're important to us. Protecting your rights and helping you meet your future needs is our main goal. And we take pride in servicing our clients. We provide you with knowledgeable, caring legal representation. We are experienced and dedicated to helping you. Call for your free consultation today. Abston Law, located at 1307 Airport Road in Flowood.
I based my campaign on a number of things. My accomplishments, my ability to get things done, and my relationships. The county doesn't have a good relationship with the city. The state is having a strained working relationship with the city. So the reason that those relationships are not as good as they can be is because I'm not the mayor. And when I'm mayor, you will see great improvements.
Provine High School and Jackson State University. Marcella Speaks. Coach Speaks. Let me ask you something. Your playing days at Jackson State. Let's talk about that right now. How you was up under, of course. I think you was up under Coach Comedy, correct?
Rick Comedy.
Yes, one of the great coaches of all time in my book, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Tell us about your experience playing them.
I feel like I had a chance to really develop into the person I am today. I had some adverse situations happen prior to getting Jackson State, but Coach Comedy gave me another opportunity, and in that he mentored me to help me get me back on track. And not only did he mentor me, but he taught me how to see the game of football in a different way. And a lot of that carries over into my coaching, especially my passion for defense and how I watch film, and I try to impart that upon a lot of the defenders that I come across nowadays.
Okay, I mean that team that you guys had was talented from top to bottom. What would you say was your biggest, I would say, not regret? Well, yes, I would, of playing. Like you should have won more championships, or.
That's the biggest one. I like to tell people, we won the SWAC championship in 2007.
Yeah.
And I think I may have won that ring maybe 5-6 times. But I know for a fact, had we won it my senior year in 2008, the year I won a Black College Defensive Player of the Year,
yes,
I would have worn those rings all the time. Because the championship meant way more to me than being Black College Defensive Player of the Year. And I know that may be a hard pill for some people to swallow, being an All-American and this and that. But the team that I was on, man, it was special.
Yes,
it was special. I like to tell a lot of the young guys nowadays I wasn't even as talented as one. I put everybody else in position, and the ball just ended up coming to me because they were running away from Marcus Bernard and Daniel Brooks and Big Coit and all of those guys in the middle, man. And we had guys on the edge, Keith Camp, man. And we had guys everywhere, guys from Division I's, and I guess nowadays those guys would have just transferred to another powerhouse D1, where it was kind of before the prime era when he was getting players there. But a lot of people don't know the Black colleges get those players all the time. And Coach Comedy, he brought that back to Jackson State, but when they let him go, it fell off there for a minute.
Yeah, but believe me, we know. But we're gonna get into that right now. But anyway, I mean, like those guys you talking about, I mean, like you said, Terrence and all those guys, Jimmy Oliver, those guys was just, I mean, Jackson State was loaded on both sides of the ball, and you got to really get the Coach Comedy and that recruiting staff that Greg Ruff and all them guys that got those players to come there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So and after Coach Comedy left, we had a little, few down years, and eventually Coach Prime came. But let's talk about the job that Coach Taylor's doing right now.
Coach Taylor's doing a phenomenal job, Coach. Words can't even describe it, Coach. It was raining the day of the national championship parade, and I started not to go, and then Breland was in town, and he tapped me, and I looked at him, and I said, "Man, it's letting up. We going out there." And Man, when I tell you we ran out there, we tried to see everybody and high five as many people as we could. I think we were right there when Coach O pulled up and then Coach Taylor, and everybody was right behind him, man. Phenomenal job they're doing over there, man. I'm so excited for the future, and I'm proud of the job that they're doing there.
Well, who's better, this team or that 017? Because that 017 was stacked. This year's team was stacked too. What team you think, in your opinion? You know, don't be biased. Was better?
I definitely would say this team. Yeah. Because it's well-rounded. And you can see it across the board. You can see it on the sideline to where it's not that we weren't loaded, but outside of the main guys that were on the field, we had some pretty good backups. But I feel like this team is bar none loaded with guys.
You know, this team that Jackson State had kind of remind me, and I'm sure Bernard will have tested this, and Ed, you know, they've been around the program for a minute. But this team remind me of those 80 squads. When I mean, like, your third team could probably go start anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they was just that deep.
Yeah.
You remember I remember when Coach Taylor, when they had the little squabble in Alabama State, and they had them guys suspended. And he said, I'm not worried. What I'm going to be worried about is next man up. And then that next week, they went to Alcorn, and they handed them a good whipping.
Yes, indeed.
And a real good whipping. So at the end of the day, he just said, look, next man up. Come on in. So I just really feel like I agree too. I agree that this year's team was probably, and I'm gonna be honest with you, probably one of the best, probably the best Jackson State football team in a long time.
A long time, at least 20. I would say at least 20 years.
Would you say back in the WC era or the Big Dad era?
I'm not gonna touch on that, Cole, because you know we was loaded before that one guy came in.
Yeah,
and turned everything sideways, and I mean people.
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about that guy.
Oh,
you better be glad.
Man, I got a story for them. We'll talk about this story later.
No, let's talk about the story now.
Okay, so I had a cousin from New Orleans, Ninth Ward.
Okay,
right, that was on that team, and he was getting his master's when I even came in to be recruited. And he told me, which something I already knew. He said, man, you're not coming here. And I knew I wasn't coming there. But long story short, I got a job at Arkansas Monticello. And I'm sitting in my office as a GA. And lo and behold, who walks through the coach's office door to meet with our head coach? This is Division II school. And there's a high school right across the pond. Coach James Bell. I mean, I should have, but I got on the phone immediately, man. And I ain't gonna tell you what my cousin said, but he said, "Man, you keep him right there. We're a good 7 hours from New Orleans. You can only imagine the rest." But yeah. I think he was there, maybe hiding out or something over there.
A very trying time for Jackson State football.
That was.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That was, I'm glad Rob ain't here. Cause mention his name, he gets upset talking about that. He gets real upset talking about that name. But at the end of the day, Jackson State done recovered from that, and now they're back, per se on top. And I really think that Coach Taylor and Coach O's, I don't see a decline. To me, it seems like next year's team may be even better. Yeah. And I didn't think that you can get better.
It's one of those things in team sports and programs to where once you establish that culture, and the guys are coming in, it's kind of hard for it to stop. The only thing that can stop it is something like the coach leads to take a better job, or something like that.
Correct.
But in this case, I think definitely Coach Taylor is here for the long haul, which I think everybody would agree with that. So that's the positive about it. And again, I'm just excited to be in possibly the feeder pattern that could push guys to their program.
Exactly. Yeah. And defense is your baby.
Yeah.
So I know. Tell me, will you take some of what you learn as a player, as a coach, and install it into Provine's defense?
Yeah, for sure. It's already been done.
That's what I kind of figured.
It's already been done.
Yes, I kind of figured that.
We just need some more bodies. Some more bodies. And the biggest thing right now, we've been trying to do our best to recruit the school and get kids to come out and convince them that, hey, if you come to practice, you come to workouts, you take the coaching, guess what? You're going to be better. You're going to develop, right? You're going to learn discipline. And we're going to help you. We're going to help you with your effort output, right?
Okay.
Yep.
At the end of the day, to be honest with you, Provine, Forest Hill, the Clintons, the Jim Hills, the Murrays, all of them has already been little feeder schools to Jackson State. But I think Coach Taylor is bringing that relationship back. To me, it left a little bit.
Mhm.
And because we were down for a little while. Then when Coach Prime came, he started getting, the guys from the other schools to come down. Which sometimes you got to do that to get back on
Yes,
top.
indeed, you do.
And,
Again, as we talked about it, the depth.
Depth.
Depth. You gotta have depth, and if you're a local school like Jackson State right here, the capital of Mississippi, you should be able to get the top players from here in addition to the top players from elsewhere, and that's how you build a program.
Yeah.
That's how you do.
I tell you what, I just really feel that, and you got like in the West, you got I think Gramble's going to be improved next year. I think Texas Southern probably going to be improved next year. Southern, I don't know. When they lost those number of players, it's like I think Alcorn's going to be improved from last year. So in the East side, Florida A&M is always giving us fits. Coach Buckley, it's going to take him a while to get where he want to be.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to do some great things over there in Mississippi Valley. And you can't count out Coach Thomas at Alcorn because they still got a tradition there too.
Right.
So you can't never count them out.
You can't.
I mean, at the end of the day, so it'll be interesting to see how this football season go,
Yeah,
and high school, because I'm really looking forward to you and Coach Kelly going head to head with Linnell.
I am too.
Have you talked to him?
No, I hadn't talked to him since I got the job.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
But it's coming.
It's coming.
I tell you what, should be an interesting matchup. And but we want to let everybody know that this show is broadcast every Sunday night from 10 to 11 on the Lou, which is my 35. Talking Sports Live, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock every Sunday on the Lou. So you're going to see yourself on TV. Get your big bowl of ice cream on Sunday night and just, look, get in the bed and just gobble up and look at yourself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And we want to remind everybody, Talking Sports Live is in partnership with Full Moon Barbecue in Madison, and have launched the Talking Sports Live Happy Hour. Each Wednesday from 5 to 8. During the time, customers will receive a $50 discount on all beverages, including beer and soft drinks with their meals, and children under 12 of age get free drinks with their meal. You can't beat that, man.
Can't beat that.
I wish I was
Yeah.
12. Ed Bishop, he was getting free meal when he was under 12. That was back in 1960 though.
Yes, indeed.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Talking Sports Live here at Full Moon Barbecue in Madison, Mississippi.
I'm Josh Trim with Pennington and Trim Alarm Services. We firmly believe in offering the latest and greatest in camera and access control technology. With the Alarm.com platform, we're able to offer a user-friendly and fully integrated service to do just that.
We're a light that shines your way. Let us in and you will find security and peace of mind. Go on and keep on out.
We feel strongly that clients are best served by a financial institution that has roots here, but also has an eye on the future. That's what we believe First Commercial Bank brings to our markets. Our idea is simple: deliver a consistently exceptional client experience each and every time. We have a unique story to tell, and our talented associates are dedicated to meeting the needs of our clients every day. Visit firstcommercialbk.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Accidents happen, and the Abston Law Firm wants to help you. Don't feel overwhelmed with disruptions to your life that accidents and injuries bring. Let Willie Abston work for you. At Abston Law Firm, you're important to us. Protecting your rights and helping you meet your future needs is our main goal. And we take pride in servicing our clients. We provide you with knowledgeable, caring legal representation. We are experienced and dedicated to helping you. Call for your free consultation today. Abston Law, located at 1307 Airport Road in Flowood.
Jackson is ready for new leadership that will unite our communities, rebuild our infrastructure, and move our city forward. My name is Senator John Horn, and I'm running for mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. I've spent the last 30 years as a state senator helping to bring millions of dollars in resources to our city. I'm ready to bring decades of experience and collaboration to City Hall. If you're ready to move Jackson forward, vote John Horn in the upcoming mayoral.
Welcome back to Talking Sports Live here in Madison at Full Moon Barbecue. We'd like to once again thank our listeners and our sponsors for their support on this program. Once again, our sponsors are Pendleton and Trim Alarm Services. Let us in, we'll keep them out. Phone number is 601-939-5231. First Commercial Bank, where business is personal, 601-709-7777. Willie T. Abstinence Law Firm, 601-487-8839. Mansell Media and Marketing Agency, their phone number is 601-339-2040. And Richard Shaw Dynastics Promotions, the official clothier of Talking Sports Live, 601-353-1956. And not only Richard Shaw been in business in 1908 when Rob J was a baby, but in 1988, Ed Bishop was only 50 years old.
Minus 40.
So I want you to add that from 1988. He wish he was 10 years old. But look, we got a quick trivia question right here. And this trivia question is kind of easy. Now, I'm going to tell you, please don't call the TV station because they ain't there. And we know that for certain. But the trivia question is, who was the first black NBA player? Once again, who was the first black NBA player that played in the NBA game? The first black NBA player that ever played in an NBA game. Okay, you can give your answers on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, correct? But not those three social media platforms. And the winner will receive a $10 gift card from Full Moon Barbecue. And that coach will give you one sweet tea. I just get Inflation is rough.
Hey, it's tough on everybody.
Inflation is rough, man. I tell you what, we're gonna talk a little basketball now. I had the pleasure of doing the games in Atlanta, and the Jackson State women, of course, lost in a heartbreaking game to eventually SWAC champion Southern University by 4. And you got to give it to Coach Richards. I mean, she didn't have nothing, not even a can of pinto beans in the cabinet. She was just bare. But the job that she did in getting those girls here and they buying into her system was tremendous. I just what you had to say about the job she did.
Coach, that's the coach I need to go talk to.
Yeah.
On how to turn things around in an instant, coach. If I had the money, if we could pay the high school players, but we can't do that. It may be coming sometime in the future. They got the NLIs, so everything is seeming like it's trickling downhill. So we'll see how that goes. But phenomenal job to hear that story that she had to bring in 14 new players at the beginning of the school year to make it to the SWAC tournament and to win the game. Coach, that was phenomenal.
I mean, look, she was first place leading up to the last 2 weeks of the season. Then they dropped all the way down to 4th. I know they had some injuries and things of that nature. And I was telling Rob that, injuries is something that can really, in all sports, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Can really, hinder a team. But I think she would have stayed healthy. I actually think she could have won it because they should have beat Southern. And they had an opportunity to do it, but they just couldn't close it out. And just timely things that, they just didn't go Jack State way. A lot of missed free throws. I know Massanet didn't have any points in that game, and Dealworth was kind of off a little bit. But I think that, they'll only lose by 4 to a great Southern team who's actually playing tonight in the NCAA tournament against San Diego State, I think, in San Diego, California. Is a tremendous job. I think she deserves Coach of the Year. I mean, I think that. I don't think she won it, but I think she should have won it. I mean, come on now. She didn't have nothing. To
go from nothing to that and a 4-point loss, Coach, that's big lead. Big ups to Coach. But I think that definitely gives the team something to build on going into this next year. So, hey, look out for them. I wouldn't want to be playing them early in the season because if she can do that off of having nobody at the beginning of the school year with a whole off season, summer to go into the next school year, I think they're going to probably do better than they did, way better than they did this year.
And it's about recruiting.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know that firsthand about how important recruiting is. And some, now they're recruiting in high school.
Yeah.
It's different from how it used to be, especially when I was in school. But I tell you what, recruiting is so important. She get the right people to buy into her system. I think she'll be back.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
Coach Gilbert at Alcorn, they made the championship again. He told me I just can't get over this hump. But I tell you what, the job that he did to get to the championship 2 years in a row, it was disappointing. Those girls from Alcorn but a great job by him. You got to give to him and that his staff to get those girls back to where. But Southern they were just the better. They're a good basketball team.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean you got to give it to them, and they deserve it. On the men's side,
Oh yeah.
that still hurts.
Yeah.
And it's been how many days? About 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But Jackson State just left a lot on the floor.
Yeah.
I really feel that if Mo could do some things over again, he would.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just Alabama State's a good team. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's evident by last night they beat St. Francis to move on to play Auburn, but they'll be home Friday. So you got to worry about that. But anyway, for them to go to Dayton and get that win is a big boost for the SWAC.
Big boost for the SWAC. Big boost, and it actually kind of I'm not gonna say eases our loss a little bit, but for them to go and make that win, you kind of you got something to build off of as the Jackson State teams return next year.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think SWAC basketball and SWAC, I know SWAC football, is on the rise now?
Oh yeah, for sure, and it's evident as you see across the board, like we've already established that guys are returning home and returning to their stomping grounds, and I think that means even more, and that helps the whole buy-in process and the recruiting process when you have guys coaching from areas that they're from with the experience that they have. I think that only adds to the whole college experience and the program experience as a whole.
Well, what did you see the game?
The SWAC, no, not the very last game.
You didn't see the game. Well, I tell you what, it was just I got to give it to Coach Mo. He did a great job of getting those guys to the championship game. But I just really feel the same way with him. You get the right guys to come in and recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be back to where
yeah, for sure.
That level of bitter taste in his mouth.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can tell it, see it on his face, and rightfully so. Because you expect him to win it and expecting to be there, but some things just happen. So with that being said, he got some talent coming.
Yeah.
Got his son coming from Germantown, and you got some other guys coming. Do you think this local talent is just in football and basketball is just being, flourished now? I think JPS recruiting is coming back.
Yeah, JPS recruiting is coming back, but then also you got the schools on the outskirts that are doing recruiting as well.
Yes.
And so, and everybody, especially on the outskirts, they have the resources and facilities to do the development or the structure in place in their organizations or school districts to develop. But, we have to be a little bit more creative in the inner city. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've always figured it out and found a way to do it. And now it's just, adapting with the times and doing the same thing, putting in the work because nothing beats hard work. So we just got to get to it.
Yeah, and speaking of that, what will it take for maybe JPS to get to that level, like upgrading facilities, paying more coaches, things of that nature? Because, if you really look at it, like you said, these surrounding school districts, if you go to their field and they field house, it's like night and day.
It's gonna start with the middle school. We really got to pour in to our middle schools. And I haven't been to the charter schools yet, but obviously people have figured out ways to get things done, and so that's what we got to do. We got to pour in Jackson into our middle schools so that when they do come to the high school level, that we're not necessarily starting from where we're starting at with them, and then from ninth grade year we develop them even more with their own program and team schedule, and then it should just flow right into varsity.
Well, my team won the championship this year. I told you that.
Yeah,
we won the SWAC. So I got some talent, and I think people sleep on charter schools. But at the end of the day, I'm in South Jackson, so I got some guys that.
Well, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Come on down there and see what you can do, and see if you want to get. We talked about that, but at the end of the day, Jackson has so much talent.
Yes.
That it's just ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
And you got Cordoza. Just speaking of middle schools, you got Powell. You got Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
You got you got Bailey,
Mm-hmm.
who has all these kids that are so talented. But now some of them are being recruited by the surrounding
Right.
districts, and some of them are leaving, going to like, the other schools.
Yeah.
What will it take to get those kids to stay in Jackson?
We're gonna have to help the city of Jackson. The city of Jackson, we have to do better, right? And like I said, I think when I first came on, a lot has changed across the city. But in order, if we want to keep those families here and keep those student athletes in the city, then we have to do better in the streets, in the community, and do what our parents did for us and pushed us to school, pushed us toward those extracurricular activities. Where I'm not gonna say it's not happening now, but I think the parents are getting a little bit younger, and maybe at times I will admit we'll forget what our parents did for us and how hard they were, and going through that period of not really, caring too much about our parent and not knowing that they really have our best interests at heart.
Mhm.
But it takes a village, and we got to get back to that mentality.
Well, when you were at Provine, you played for Provine because you loved it.
Yeah, I was a water boy at Provine for 4 years before.
The water boy.
Yeah, the water boy.
You were the water boy at
I
Provine.
started as a water boy at Provine High School before I volunteered in between college years at Delta State and Jackson State. And then ultimately, after we left Callaway, I came on to be defensive coordinator at Provine and was the head coach 17-18 before moving to California. And now I'm back. So I guess if they said if you started from the bottom, now we're here. So now we just got to put the work in.
Well, I tell you what, you was something special. You just something special. You still are, and I'm glad we got one more little time to be together. So don't leave me. I gotta feed you, man.
All right.
Yeah,
All right, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere.
You like rib tips?
Like rib tips,
Yeah.
baby back ribs, rib tips, whatever they got. I love food.
All right, man. Look, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Talking Sports Live.
I'm Josh Trim with Pennington and Trim Alarm Services. We firmly believe in offering the latest and greatest in camera and access control technology. With the Alarm.com platform, we're able to offer a user-friendly and fully integrated service to do just that.
We're a light that shines your way. Let us in and you will find security and peace of mind. Gonna keep on now.
We feel strongly that clients are best served by a financial institution that has roots here, but also has an eye on the future. That's what we believe First Commercial Bank brings to our markets. Our idea is simple: deliver a consistently exceptional client experience each and every time. We have a unique story to tell, and our talented associates are dedicated to meeting the needs of our clients every day. Visit firstcommercialbk.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Accidents happen, and the Abston Law Firm wants to help you. Don't feel overwhelmed with disruptions to your life that accidents and injuries bring. Let Willie Abston work for you. At Abston Law Firm, you're important to us. Protecting your rights and helping you meet your future needs is our main goal. And we take pride in servicing our clients. We provide you with knowledgeable, caring legal representation. We are experienced and dedicated to helping you. Call for your free consultation today. Abston Law, located at 1307 Airport Road in Flowood.
I based my campaign on a number of things. My accomplishments, my ability to get things done, and my relationships. The county doesn't have a good relationship with the city. The state is having a strained working relationship with the city. So the reason that those relationships are not as good as they can be is because I'm not the mayor. And when I'm mayor, you will see great improvements.
We want to welcome everybody back to Talking Sports Live. You know what, Coach? If Ed Bishop, who need friends if you got somebody like Ed Bishop? He talk about my old high school, talk about Holmes County, and guess what? But he loves it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You can't help but love Holmes County.
Usually that's what people do. When they like something, they find ways to poke fun.
Oh, he poking fun at me about my county, man. I told him, I said, good people live in Holmes County, man. Don't be talking about my county, man. He always messing with my county. Look, I want to talk about right around the corner, NFL draft. Who's gonna be your number one pick?
I like Travis. Because I think for a fact he's a good human being, and that goes a long way when you talk about investing millions of dollars into someone. You
So,
know what I mean?
In your opinion, will he play both ways in the NFL? He say he want to now.
I think they probably gonna talk to the strength and conditioning coach about that before anything, because he is a little fella. He is a little fella.
And the NFL is a different.
It's a different monster.
It's a different monster.
Different monster. They got some big old cats out there, like an 18-wheeler Mack truck or a Freightliner out there.
And when they hit you, you're gonna feel it.
You're gonna feel it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. Who's your favorite team?
I don't have one.
You don't?
Nah, never. Nah, no favorite. I'm not a fan. Not a fanatic. I'm a coach.
Well, you know what? I'm a Saints fan. So pray for me.
No.
please, I want you to get on your
They
knees.
can get it back. They can get it back.
We got to, I think Kevin Moore's going to do a great job. I think it may take him a little time to get the guys in there that he wants, that, and then the salary cap issue that we got. But I really think that the Saints can come back if they, you got to build around people like Kamara and DeMario Davis.
And then he's an offensive mind guy. And you got to think where he came from. He came from the creative schools.
Yeah.
So, he got it in him. And then he's been around some guys. So, I feel like he's gonna do a great job.
Look what he did for Jalen. I mean, those guys was like a Mac 10. Now I'm glad Rob in here because he don't like to talk about that game. Yeah, he can't see the Chiefs thing.
Oh man.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, they were just good this year. They really caught fire to me, like near like the in between that middle and end, and they were just unstoppable.
And then they had that taste in their mouth already. And they wanted to get rid of it. And, it's only so much Taylor Swift and Kelsey and Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. And it's only so much you can take before, guys put their foot down and make up and say, hey, guys, listen up. Regardless of what coach talking about, this is something we got to do. We got to prove. And they get paid to do it.
Yeah.
And if they really love it and they really care about it and they're passionate about the money, then they're going to show it. And I think that's exactly what they did.
Well, to me, who made a whole lot of difference when that team was Saquon Barkley. He gave them another dimension.
He did.
And that opened up things for Brown and the other wide receivers. And because, you got to be honest. You can't just put certain men in the box and say, I'm not going to worry about the run. You can not worry about the run if you want to. He made people pay.
Exactly.
Yeah. And at the end, then defensively, they were just stacked.
Yeah.
And then Graham retired. But they let some key people go this offseason. I was surprised. So, but I think they got a plan to, bring some more guys up in there.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
It will be.
So, like, who's your team to beat in the NFL next year?
For next year?
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Rob will probably tell you can come on back on the show. Seriously?
You don't think you think they just gonna sleep on get behind whooping?
Let me tell you something. I think
man, he reduced his contract.
Yes, him and Kelsey, and Mississippi State. What's his name? Chris Jones. Yeah. All of them took a pay cut.
Chris was crying to drop a hat now
Man,
too. So hey,
he cried. Yeah, that hurt it. They really did want that 3-peat.
Yeah, they
so
did.
They'll be back. But I mean, me personally, I would say probably in the AFC, Kansas City and Buffalo.
Always Buffalo.
Yeah.
They got to get over the hump.
They can't get over that hump.
They can't get over the hump. I don't know what it is, what happens, and they're usually in their own environment too. And it's like, hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah.
They got to figure it out, just like the Eagles figured it out. If they really about what they're talking about, they got to figure it out.
Well, the NFC for me is going to be Philadelphia again, of course, and Detroit. I mean, Detroit had a lot of injuries near the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it came back to hunt them. Same thing I said about injury. Injuries on any level can really hurt you. It don't matter what, little league, middle school, high school, college, and pro. It can be, very harmful to your team and to your cohesiveness.
Yeah, devastating.
Yes, very much so. And I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's one of the reasons why Coach Cummings was so successful in those 7 years. Was very healthy. Yeah. Along with Jackson State this year, I mean, healthy teams usually win championships.
But it takes hard work to get there, and you got to be willing to put the work in. And there's no microwavable process to it. It's day after day, rep after rep after rep. You got to hold each other accountable and do the things you want to do. You got to be doing it all along during the week. You got to do it.
Well, look, let me ask you a question. I know your brother Breland, the Michigan Panthers
yep.
in the UFL,
UFL.
which is the AFL and the USFL combined. They made the United Football League.
Mhm.
Are you proud of him?
I am. I am. Two-time defensive player of the league. You know, this will be his third year going in. They start, I want to say March 29th. They play up in Memphis. So, you know, if you got time, go up there. The tickets are very affordable. And I'm pretty sure it's a good atmosphere too. And you got guys out there that aren't playing for a paycheck. They really playing to get after it. And
The love of the game.
The love of the game. And anytime that's going on, then you expected a good show.
And then, you know, he got an invite to Bernard's team, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
And they cut him.
They cut him, coach.
And look how they ended up this year. They should just kept him.
Exactly. And the Jaguars did the same thing this past year.
And look how the Jaguar ended up. So you could have left him on the team.
Yo, he had a sack in every game. 3 preseason games, he had a sack. And then one of the games, either the second or the last, he had 2. And they still let him go.
But now I'm going to make a few phone calls. He'll be back.
All right.
Yeah.
There
But
it is.
I know that's you know, I talked to your dad. That's one of his dreams
Mhm.
is to get back there. Because, you know, Breland was a part of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
So Breland also has a Super Bowl
Yeah,
ring.
he got a ring.
He has a ring. So I think he has a point to prove when he come back that he still got it.
Yeah.
And that Kansas City, you know, let him go before his prime. Yeah. His playing day was over with. But I tell you, I watched the UFL. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, Birmingham was the class of the league last year.
Yeah. Michigan gonna have to get over that hump. That's their kryptonite, man. Freaking Birmingham.
Yeah, they almost got the fighting last year in the championship.
Yeah.
I saw that game.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's gonna be interesting. But I'm proud of him too. Callaway grad.
Yeah, Callaway grad.
And went to Ole Miss and played there, and then he ended up getting drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. So you can't tell me that there's no talent in this city.
Yeah.
Jackson, Mississippi has a load of talent, but like you said, these kids got to put the work in.
Got to put the work in, and it's got to be a different mindset. And the sooner they can get it, the more they can make the adjustments to prepare for those opportunities when they get it. Because sometimes we get those opportunities too soon, and if we aren't ready for it, you know, it can end abruptly.
Do you regret not playing in the NFL?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Still on your mind?
Not necessarily on my mind, but, you know, I wish I'd have taken my training to prepare for it a little bit more serious. But again, and I tell people this, and only the people that really know me know that I'm telling the truth, that as a kid growing up, I was more thinking about coaching.
Really?
I was. Man, as a kid, I would turn toys, G.I. Joes, spade cards, anything, and have them in opposition of each other. Setting up pregame meal, getting the Tonka truck going this way, and we'll be on a pregame meal. We go over here and we go. So there's always been a love of passion. I've always been around the game. They didn't let me play Little League because I was too little. But again, I learned how to break down film. I learned how to put myself in position at an early age to do what I was supposed to do so I could be a contributor on the team. And I think that went a long way. And so I'm back now as a coach, and I'm trying to do that, not necessarily just with the kids, but with the coaches and the parents, and help bring back sense of pride and, you know, positivity and just moving forward, you know.
I really feel to get Provine to a state championship.
I am praying for it.
Would you get emotional? You think Coach Carter will be proud of you?
Yeah, I definitely know.
I know he will, Marcellus. I know he will. And look, it's been a long time. Provine to me is, I mean, you talking about Jackson football, JPS football, Provine, Murray back in the day, and I didn't know that Lanier,
Callaway,
yeah, Lanier was tough like they was back then. I asked Rob about it, and Rob said, "Yeah, back in that's what I heard." So you can't tell me that JPS football has no talent.
we got plenty of talent.
And it's coming back, and I like the Murrays and your hiring and Tommy over there at Lanier. So, and Coach Phelps is doing a good job at Forest Hill.
And they got Coach Grady, another Jackson.
And Jim Hill, Zach Grady, who we had on the show. It's gonna be interesting how this is gonna be. You playing? Y'all play Jim Hill the first game, right? First or second game, correct?
I think it's dumped down the schedule a little bit, maybe like fourth or fifth game.
That's one of y'all arch rivals.
Yeah. Well, all of them. It's Jackson. You know, everybody want to be there.
Who's your arch rival in the city? Who Provine wants to beat?
They wants to beat Jim Hill, but we gotta beat everybody.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So that because I know when I went to a Jim Hill profile game, it was packed at 5:30.
Yeah, I remember back in the 90s again when I was a water boy at Hughes Field, and I know it was a fire marshal violation because it was people all lined up all around the edge where the concession stands.
Yeah.
Man. You had people all over on Hardy sitting up on the stairs and all over on the side fence, man. And talking about sellout crowds, man, sellout crowds.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. But no, we didn't get no winner. We never did get no. I'm gonna ask the question one more time. Who was the first black NBA player that played in an NBA game? The first black NBA player that played in an NBA game. We just need for you to, give that answer, and you'll win a $10 gift card from Full Moon Barbecue. You can still do your answer on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Man, I would like to thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Man, look, you're a good friend of mine, and your family is a great family. Me and your dad, we talk all the time. I'm proud of you. I wish you nothing but luck this season. And I hate you miss Rob, but he had to do baseball now.
No worries, I'm gonna catch him again.
Oh yeah, you'll see him.
Yeah.
All right, we want to like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight to Talking Sports Live. We'll see you next week.